The steady thrum of rotor blades filled the cockpit as Amanda Rivers guided the medical helicopter through another emergency flight. Her hands steady on the controls despite the critical patient breathing through life support systems behind her. To the doctors and paramedics who flew with her daily, she was just another civilian medevac pilot doing routine medical transport. Reliable but unremarkable. Someone who flew patients between hospitals without the specialized training that marked military aviators. But when armed terrorists stormed the trauma center and took hostages, forcing Amanda to land in what should have been a routine patient transfer, none of them realized they were about to witness Major Amanda Rivers, former Apache attack helicopter pilot with 1,800 combat flight hours, transform her unarmed medical aircraft into a precision weapon that would turn their coordinated assault into the deadliest mistake of their lives. Welcome to Those Who Left a Trace, where ordinary people carry the most extraordinary secrets. Before we dive into this incredible story that will leave you speechless, tell us in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe that everyone deserves respect no matter how they appear on the surface, hit that subscribe button and join our community that honors the hidden warriors among us. The morning sun cast long shadows across Denver General Hospital's helipad as Amanda Rivers completed her pre-flight inspection of the Eurocopter EC135 medical helicopter. At 32 years old, she stood 5 feet 6 inches tall with brown hair pulled back in a practical ponytail beneath her flight helmet. Her hazel eyes held a quiet competence that her medical colleagues attributed to professional focus on patient care, never suspecting the depth of combat training and military aviation experience that lay behind that concentrated gaze. Amanda wore the standard uniform of civilian medical helicopter pilots. Navy blue flight suit with emergency medical services patches, steel-toed boots designed for hospital helipad operations, and a headset that connected her to both air traffic control and the medical team she transported. The helicopter she flew was configured for critical patient transport, with advanced life support equipment and space for medical personnel to continue treatment during flight. To the trauma doctors and paramedics who worked with Life Flight Colorado, Amanda was simply Rivers, the civilian pilot who had joined their service 15 months earlier from a smaller medical helicopter operation in Arizona. She flew emergency medical missions with competent efficiency, transporting critical patients between hospitals and providing rapid response to accident scenes throughout the Denver metropolitan area. What none of them knew was that Amanda's understanding of helicopter operations and emergency procedures had been developed during 9 years as an Army pilot, including 6 years flying AH-64 Apache attack helicopters in combat zones where split-second decisions determine mission success and crew survival. Her expertise with rotorcraft systems, tactical maneuvering, and emergency response have been earned through missions that tested the limits of both pilot skill and aircraft capability. Dr. Michael Chen represented the typical attitude that most medical personnel held toward helicopter pilots like Amanda. At 38 years old, Chen was a veteran trauma surgeon with 12 years of emergency medicine experience who understood the importance of rapid patient transport, but viewed pilots as skilled technicians rather than medical team members. Rivers, we need immediate transport for a multiple trauma patient to University Hospital, Dr. Chen announced as he approached Amanda's aircraft with evident urgency. His tone was professional, but carried the assumption that civilian pilots were simply transportation providers who required minimal medical coordination. Amanda accepted the patient information and began calculating flight parameters for the urgent medical mission. What's the patient's condition, Dr. Chen? I need to understand any special handling requirements for the flight. Dr. Chen glanced at the trauma team, preparing to load their patient into the helicopter. Severe internal injuries from a motorcycle accident. Patient is stable but critical, requiring immediate surgical intervention that we can't provide here. Amanda nodded and continued her flight preparation, but her military training compelled her to analyze the tactical situation that often accompanied emergency medical operations. Traffic accidents, especially serious ones, sometimes created secondary emergencies that could affect helicopter operations and crew safety. Dr. Chen, what's the nature of the accident scene? any ongoing hazards or security concerns that might affect our operation? Amanda asked, applying threat assessment protocols that most civilian pilots wouldn't consider. Dr. Chen's response was dismissive and focused entirely on medical considerations. Rivers, the accident scene has been cleared by police. Your job is to get this patient to University Hospital as quickly and safely as possible. Amanda maintained her professional demeanor despite the condescending tone. Her military experience had taught her that comprehensive situation assessment was essential for mission safety, but civilian medical operations typically focus narrowly on patient care rather than broader security considerations. What Dr. Chen didn't realize was that Amanda's mission planning incorporated security awareness and threat assessment protocols that she had learned during Army training. Her understanding of helicopter vulnerabilities and potential threats was based on years of flying combat missions where hostile fire and enemy action were constant considerations. As Amanda completed her pre-flight checklist and prepared for departure, she remained aware that medical helicopter operations often involved complex emergencies that required more than basic flight skills. Her combat experience had taught her to expect the unexpected and maintain readiness for situations that exceeded normal operational parameters. The flight to University Hospital proceeded normally as Amanda navigated Denver's busy airspace, while Dr. Chen and his medical team continued treatment of their critical patient. The EC135 performed reliably, and her navigation followed standard medical helicopter procedures as she coordinated with air traffic control and hospital landing facilities. Denver approach. Life Flight Colorado 7 is inbound to University Hospital with critical patient, requesting priority handling. Amanda transmitted with a standard phraseology that marked professional aviation communication. The air traffic controller's response was immediate and accommodating. Life Flight Colorado 7, Denver approach. You are clear direct to University Hospital. Maintain current altitude. Contact University Hospital operations on 123.45 for landing coordination. Amanda acknowledged the clearance and contacted the hospital's flight operations, but as she approached the medical center, her situational awareness began registering anomalies that suggested potential security concerns developing at their destination. The first indication of trouble came from the unusual activity visible around University Hospital's emergency department. Multiple police vehicles were positioned in defensive formations around the building, and Amanda could see personnel in tactical gear taking positions that suggested an active security incident. Dr. Chen, I'm seeing heavy police activity around the hospital. Amanda reported to the medical team. There appears to be some kind of security situation developing at our destination. Dr. Chen looked up from his patient monitoring equipment and peered through the helicopter's windows at the scene below. That's unusual. Maybe there's been another serious accident or emergency. Amanda's military training told her that the police deployment pattern indicated something more serious than routine emergency response. The tactical positioning of law enforcement vehicles and personnel suggested preparation for armed confrontation rather than standard emergency scene management. University Hospital operations. Life Flight Colorado 7 is 2 minutes out with critical patient. Amanda transmitted to coordinate her landing approach. Be advised, we're observing heavy police activity around the facility. The response from the hospital was immediate but concerning. Life Flight Colorado 7, University Hospital operations. We are currently experiencing a security incident. Stand by for landing instructions. Amanda felt her combat instincts activate as she processed the implications of an active security incident at their destination hospital. Medical facilities were supposed to be safe zones, but her military experience had taught her that hospitals could become targets for hostile forces seeking to cause maximum civilian casualties. Dr. Chen, the hospital is experiencing a security incident. Amanda reported to her medical team. We may need to divert to an alternate facility for patient safety. Dr. Chen's medical training focuses priorities entirely on patient care rather than security considerations. Rivers, this patient needs immediate surgical intervention. We can't afford delays caused by security concerns. Amanda understood Dr. Chen's medical priorities. but her military experience compelled her to evaluate the tactical situation before committing to landing at a facility that might be under attack. Dr. Chen, if the hospital is compromised by hostile action, landing there could put our patient and crew at greater risk. The situation escalated dramatically when Amanda's radio crackled with an emergency transmission from University Hospital Operations that confirmed her worst fears about the developing security crisis. All aircraft, this is University Hospital Operations. Armed subjects have taken control of the emergency department and are holding medical personnel hostage. All flight operations are suspended immediately. Repeat, armed hostiles have occupied the hospital and taken hostages. Dr. Chen stared at Amanda in shock as he processed the implications of armed terrorists controlling the hospital where they were supposed to deliver their critical patient. Rivers, what do we do now? This patient will die without immediate surgery. Amanda's military training took over as she began analyzing the tactical situation and developing response options that could save both her patient and the hostages being held by the terrorists. Her combat experience with attack helicopter operations provided unique capabilities that most medical pilots wouldn't possess. Dr. Chen, I need you to contact other hospitals and arrange alternate surgical facilities for our patient, Amanda instructed as she began maneuvering her helicopter into surveillance positions around the compromised hospital. I'm going to assess the tactical situation and determine what assistance we can provide. Dr. Chen struggled to understand Amanda's transformation from routine medical pilot to tactical commander. Rivers, we're a medical helicopter, not a police aircraft. Our responsibility is patient transport, not security operations. Amanda's response revealed capabilities that she had kept hidden for 15 months of civilian medical flying. Dr. Chen, I have experience with tactical operations and emergency response that might be applicable to this situation. Our immediate priority is patient safety, but we may be able to assist with the hostage situation. As Amanda maneuvered her medical helicopter around the hospital complex, she observed the terrorist deployment through the analytical lens of someone who had conducted countless combat missions. The hostile forces had positioned themselves to control key access points and maximize their defensive capabilities. University Hospital Operations, this is Life Flight Colorado 7. Amanda transmitted with new authority in her voice. I have tactical aviation experience and can provide aerial reconnaissance and support for law enforcement response. The response from the hospital was immediate but confused. Life Flight Colorado 7, we appreciate the offer, but medical helicopters are not equipped for tactical operations. Please maintain safe distance and coordinate with Police Incident Command. Amanda understood the skepticism about her aircraft's tactical capabilities, but her Apache helicopter experience had taught her that any rotorcraft could be adapted for combat operations with proper training and tactical awareness. University Hospital Operations, I can provide surveillance, communication relay, and tactical support using available helicopter capabilities. Dr. Chen continued to struggle with Amanda's transformation from medical pilot to tactical operator. Rivers, how do you know about tactical operations? Medical pilots don't receive training in combat or law enforcement procedures. Amanda realized that her cover identity was about to be compromised, but the hostage situation took precedence over operational security concerns. Dr. Chen, I have military aviation experience that includes tactical operations and combat support. I can apply that training to help resolve this crisis. The situation became more urgent when police radio transmissions revealed that the terrorists had made specific demands and threatened to execute hostages if their requirements weren't met within 2 hours. Amanda understood that time was critical and that conventional law enforcement response might be insufficient to save the captives. Denver Police Incident Command, this is Life Flight Colorado 7. Amanda transmitted on the emergency frequency. I have military tactical aviation experience and can provide helicopter support for hostage rescue operations. The response from Police Incident Command was skeptical but desperate. Life Flight Colorado 7. We need all available resources, but medical helicopters are not equipped for tactical operations. What specific capabilities can you provide? Amanda's answer would reveal expertise that no civilian medical pilot should possess. Denver Police Command. I'm former Major Amanda Rivers, U.S. Army, with extensive attack helicopter experience, including combat operations and close air support. I can provide tactical reconnaissance, diversionary actions, and precision maneuvering support for ground operations. The silence that followed was profound. Dr. Chen stared at Amanda in amazement as he processed her claim to be a former Army major with attack helicopter combat experience. The transformation from medical pilot to military officer explained the confidence and tactical awareness she had always demonstrated. Denver Police Incident Command responded with renewed interest and hope. Major Rivers, we desperately need your expertise. Our tactical teams are having difficulty accessing the building due to terrorist positioning and firepower. Can your helicopter provide tactical support? Amanda straightened in her pilot seat as she prepared to apply 9 years of military aviation training to save civilian hostages. Denver Police Command, I can provide multiple tactical capabilities, including surveillance, distraction, and precision aerial maneuvering. What specific support do you need? The tactical coordination that followed transformed Amanda's medical helicopter into an improvised combat aircraft as she worked with police SWAT teams to develop a coordinated assault plan. Her Apache helicopter experience proved invaluable in planning aerial support for ground operations. Major Rivers, we need diversionary action to draw terrorist attention away from the main assault point. The SWAT commander transmitted. Can your helicopter provide distraction without compromising safety? Amanda's response drew on years of combat experience with aerial tactics and ground support operations. SWAT command, I can execute precision maneuvers that will focus terrorist attention on my aircraft while your teams approach from alternate vectors. I'll coordinate timing to maximize your tactical advantage. Dr. Chen watched in amazement as Amanda coordinated complex tactical operations while simultaneously managing their critical patients' medical needs. Her ability to multitask at this level reflected training and experience far beyond civilian aviation. Major Rivers, all teams are in position. Came the transmission from SWAT command. Execute diversionary maneuvers on my mark. Will breach on your signal. Amanda acknowledged the command and began the most challenging helicopter operation of her career, using a medical aircraft to conduct tactical maneuvers that would save hostages while protecting her own crew and patient. Dr. Chen, secure yourself and the patient. Amanda instructed as she prepared to execute combat maneuvering in an aircraft not designed for tactical operations. This is going to involve significant G-forces and aggressive flying. Amanda dropped her helicopter toward the hospital building at maximum speed, executing diving approaches and climbing turns that drew immediate gunfire from the terrorists positioned throughout the facility. Her maneuvers were precise and calculated, designed to appear threatening while maintaining safe distances from hostile weapons. The terrorists responded exactly as Amanda had predicted, concentrating their attention and firepower on her highly visible helicopter while the SWAT teams approached their assault positions undetected. Her diversionary tactics were working perfectly, but the strain on her medical aircraft was enormous. SWAT command, terrorist attention is focused on my position, Amanda reported as she continued her tactical maneuvering. You have clear approach vectors to all planned breach points. The coordinated assault began with explosive breaches at multiple points as SWAT teams entered the hospital while Amanda maintained her aerial distraction. The terrorists, caught off guard by the coordinated attack from multiple directions, were unable to mount effective resistance. Major Rivers, all hostages are secure, all hostiles neutralized, came a triumphant transmission from SWAT command. Outstanding tactical support. Your actions were crucial to mission success. Amanda felt a surge of emotion as she processed the successful conclusion of the hostage rescue. Her military aviation skills had saved civilian lives in a way that no routine medical mission could have achieved. SWAT command, glad to assist, Amanda replied as she maneuvered her helicopter toward the now secure hospital helipad. Request medical team standby for our critical patient who still requires immediate surgical intervention. Dr. Chen stared at Amanda with newfound respect and amazement. Major Rivers, what you just did was incredible. You saved those hostages using tactics I didn't know existed in civilian aviation. Amanda's response reflected the humility that had marked her transition to civilian employment. Dr. Chen, I applied the training and experience I had available to help save lives. That's what we're all here to do, whether in military or medical operations. The landing at University Hospital was met by grateful medical staff, relieved law enforcement personnel, and hospital administrators who struggled to understand how a civilian medical pilot had provided crucial tactical support for a complex hostage rescue operation. Dr. Patricia Morrison, University Hospital's chief of emergency medicine, approached Amanda with profound gratitude and curiosity. Major Rivers, your actions today saved not only the hostages, but also our critical patient. How did you acquire tactical aviation capabilities? Amanda straightened to attention as she prepared to explain her military background. Dr. Morrison, I served 9 years with the U.S. Army as an attack helicopter pilot, including combat deployments conducting close air support and tactical operations. Dr. Morrison struggled to process the revelation. Major, you've been flying medical missions when you're qualified to command military attack helicopters? Dr. Morrison, I've been honored to serve in medical aviation, Amanda replied. Patient transport saves lives and serves essential community needs. The successful hostage rescue triggered immediate investigations into Amanda's background and capabilities, leading to meetings with military liaison officers and discussions about her future assignment options. Within days, her civilian medical pilot career will be transformed into recognition of her true qualifications and experience. Colonel James Patterson, Army Aviation Liaison to Civilian Medical Services, personally met with Amanda to discuss the implications of her revealed identity and tactical capabilities. Patterson was 51 years old, a career officer who understood the value of experienced pilots in both military and civilian aviation. Major Rivers, Colonel Patterson began, your actions yesterday were extraordinary and demonstrated the kind of tactical expertise that the Army needs in leadership positions. Your service record shows exceptional performance during 9 years of active duty. Amanda straightened to attention with the bearing that had marked her military service. Thank you, Colonel Patterson. I was honored to apply my training to help save civilian lives. Patterson consulted Amanda's personnel file with evident admiration. Major, your expertise in attack helicopter operations and tactical aviation is too valuable to limit to civilian medical transport. We're prepared to offer you immediate return to active duty with command opportunities that match your qualifications. The conversation continued for 2 hours as Patterson outlined possibilities that would restore Amanda to positions utilizing her military training and combat experience. The options included command of attack helicopter battalions, instructor positions at Army aviation training facilities, and staff roles in tactical operations development. Amanda felt overwhelmed by the opportunity to return to military aviation after 15 months of civilian employment that had hidden her true capabilities and experience. Colonel Patterson, I would be honored to return to Army aviation in whatever capacity best serves military requirements. Patterson smiled warmly. Outstanding, Major Rivers. Your first option is command of the 1st Battalion, 25th Aviation Regiment at Fort Carson. Your combat experience and tactical expertise are exactly what that unit needs. As they concluded their meeting, Amanda reflected on the transformation from hidden medical pilot to recognized military officer that had occurred through a single day's events. Her civilian medical career was over, but her return to Army aviation represented not just personal vindication, but also recognition that specialized expertise must be utilized where it can make the greatest difference. The following weeks brought intensive preparation for Amanda's return to active duty and transition from civilian employment to military command. Her colleagues at Life Flight Colorado organized a farewell ceremony that celebrated both her civilian service and her remarkable military background. Dr. Chen, who had witnessed Amanda's tactical capabilities firsthand, approached her with profound respect and gratitude. Major Rivers, having you as our pilot was an honor, even though we didn't realize your true qualifications. Your professionalism and expertise made all of us better at our jobs. Amanda met his gaze with the same professional courtesy she had always shown. Dr. Chen, working with your medical team was a privilege. Emergency medical services save lives every day, and I was proud to contribute to that mission. Dr. Morrison also expressed her admiration for Amanda's service in both military and civilian roles. Major, your dedication to saving lives transcends the distinction between military and civilian service. You've shown us what true professionalism looks like. Amanda's response reflected the values that had guided her entire career. Dr. Morrison, professional excellence is a choice that applies regardless of uniform or assignment. Your medical team demonstrates that dedication every day. 6 weeks later, Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Rivers stood on the flight line at Fort Carson, preparing for her first flight as commander of the 1st Battalion, 25th Aviation Regiment. The AH-64 Apache helicopter beside her represented not just advanced military technology, but also the return to meaningful service that utilized her training and experience. As she conducted her pre-flight inspection, Amanda reflected on the lessons learned during 15 months of civilian medical flying. Her experience as an unrecognized medical pilot had taught her valuable perspectives about emergency response, civilian health care, and the importance of every person's contribution to saving lives. The battalion she now commanded would benefit from leadership that understood both the technical aspects of attack helicopter operations and the broader context of service to civilian communities. Her medical aviation experience had reinforced her appreciation for the connections between military readiness and civilian safety. Most importantly, Amanda had learned that professional excellence transcends official assignment, that expertise reveals itself when circumstances demand extraordinary performance, and that true military officers serve with distinction regardless of recognition or apparent importance of their duties. Her civilian medical pilot's logbook, which had recorded hundreds of hours of patient transport missions, now resided in her office as a reminder of service that had prepared her for command responsibilities requiring both technical expertise and operational humility. The hostage rescue that had revealed her identity remained a classified operation, but within Army aviation circles, Amanda's story became legend about the importance of maintaining readiness and recognizing that military skills can serve civilian needs in unexpected ways. Her transformation from hidden medical pilot to battalion commander illustrated the reality that excellence cannot remain concealed when circumstances require extraordinary performance, and that the most effective military leaders are those who understand service in its broadest and most meaningful context. Amanda Rivers' story concluded with the understanding that warriors serve wherever they're needed, that professional competence transcends official position, and that the most valuable military officers are those who perform their duties with quiet excellence while carrying expertise that can save lives when civilian communities depend on immediate action and uncompromising professional competence.